17 minutes past 8. Good morning. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. As it's as clear as it is, we don't have all the time and we have a short commercial coming. So I'll just introduce us to what the conversation is about, and then we would spend most of the time hearing from you and getting your opinion about the situation. So the PDP at the moment is in the spotlight. It followed the judgment that had brought in a caretaker chairman in the person of Robinson Ewo, whom we had spoken to some days back. Now, if you also take a look, or if you've been following the trends, we're yet to hear, on the show at least, it would be great to get to hear from the, now I think we would say former chairman because of the situation with the courts, but he still insists that he's in charge of the PDP, Mr. Aaron. Now, there are legal implications around this. Many have diverse opinions and views about, the judgment and how it came. And if you had followed everything that led up to that Congress, then you must have gotten an idea as to the court orders that are that emanated from different courts in Rivers State and in Abuja, and the positions of all of those involved with regards to those court orders. But while we await to get a look at the legal implications from the PDP perspective, there are talks. Now, you listen to the FCT Minister who questioned the judgment and questioned the judge and said, where did that judgment? Who gave, that's what he said, if you followed his media chat. And that has also made a lot of people look at the situation to say, it looks as though clearly there are individuals that would not obey or respect that court judgment. It would not be respected. But it is not the first time that the court is sacking a chairman from the PDP, including from the national level. We have seen it happen over and over again. The critical question, however, is whether this situation for the PDP, does it make the party more formidable? Does it improve the strength of the party? The current situation that we have in the party with regards to its leadership, does it improve the strength and ability of the party? As it stands, I remember in my conversation with Honorable Ewald was, what would happen to those people that left the PDP and went and joined the APP? Because whether you like it or not, the PDP did not participate in that election, and it must have affected the party directly or indirectly. Now, is this some sort of going to be an avenue to mobilize again? But then how would that work if already we still have Aaron, who came in after a Congress, still saying he is the chairman? And now we have Honorable Ewo as well, who has assumed position following the party's constitutional provisions after the court judgment sacked Aaron, because it had said that the Congresses that they all came up with that brought them to office is null and void. So that would not mean just him, but every other executive of the party have all been removed following that judgment. Well, we'll get the legal narrative to all of that after the commercial at least. But first, let's hear what you think about how this affects the PDP in Rivers State. Does it strengthen the party, or does it weaken the party? I'm sure a lot of PDP people would be itching to say something about this. 0817-923-0007. At the moment, many would say the APC has been able to sort its own, because for a while now we haven't heard too much, even though we're very sure that some members of the APC still have issues with the current leadership, especially with the court judgment that reinstated Chief Emeka Bekee. But largely, if you look in recent times, we haven't heard much from that, especially when we got the position of the national chairman of the party with regards to the APC. But then now it's the turn of the PDP. Yes, the national leadership of the PDP has also stated its position clearly through its publicity secretary. But you cannot just wish away the influence of the FCT minister on the party, especially now that his own candidate, who was chairman, is said to have been removed by the courts. We don't expect politicians in their fashion to take any of that lying down. They will definitely try to resist it or look for other ways to go around it until perhaps we get a final say on the matter. But the fundamental question is, does this energize the party or weakens it even more? Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning. Oh, we lost that call. On Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. Again on WhatsApp, 0809-030-6416. And then the numbers to call are 0817-923-0002. Good morning, Gift from Yenegua.
Good morning, Ifeami Andrew.
Okay.
Thank God I'm a PDP man and you are not a PDP man. So the impression you created this morning, I am not happy and I don't like it. And let me put it to you and any other person who cares to listen. Ename Ewo is never a chairman of PDP River State. And I will give you the facts and figures. Who appointed him? Caretaker, when the body expired after the elected persons, which is Ambassador Kawo, tenure came to an end. What did the National do? They gave appointment letter, of which even Chukwemeka Aaron, the current PDP chairman, told you in your video that they even sent that same letter to the governor. Who is the person that sent letter to the governor in the name of caretaker? And no court sacked them. They went to court in the name of caretaker, not this ESCO that was elected.
All right, Gift.
Inama Ewo is only an impostor and deceiving himself with the governor as far as this matter is concerned. We must put the record straight. Who should be called and sacked elected body?
All right, Gift.
No court.
Thank you very much.
It was court that gave them the go-ahead.
We have to go for a commercial now.
That they are playing with the media should come to an end. Enough is enough.
Thank you, Gift. But we'll find out more after the commercial.
After this, success is like
to apologize for those who already have been on Facebook. I know you're expecting to hear from our guest. Unfortunately, that may or may not happen due to the traffic situation on the roads. Added to the weather condition in some parts of Port Harcourt, I hear it's raining some areas. I don't know which of the areas, but I also hear it's raining in some parts, contributing to the situation on the roads. But we're hopeful that we will eventually get some legal perspective, especially from the angle of the PDP, on how it is implementing that judgment and what the party constitution states. Gift, my friend from Yenagoa, I'd like to add brother, because we're both from Bayelsa State. I was saying he's a PDP member. I'm not. We're in the media, and in the media, we would basically look at the information that's put in front of us from the party he belongs to. The national leadership of his party, through the publicity secretary, had put out his statement, and that's basically what it is. And Ewo, in his acting capacity, what does, however, the party constitution say about how its position of chairmanship is being handled, especially in situations where these sort of things happen? Is there a specific, because I remember having that conversation with Ewo, and I remember also trying to go through what the PDP does constitutionally and who takes over the saddle of responsibility in the cases of a vacuum. I don't know what that is. Perhaps those who are in the PDP would also educate us on what it is. Maybe that would answer the issue. But of course, it's similar situation with what we've always had the APC as well. And you can't say that we shouldn't report both sides. Clearly, Aaron Chukwuemeka came in as chairman following that Congress that had the FCT Minister. And even when I had conversations with him, they had representatives from INEC, they had representatives from the party, and so on and so forth. And afterwards, he emerged as chairman. And we know that there were court orders that they didn't want that Congress to hold as well. That is where the law would now take its course. This is not the first time something of this nature is happening in the PDP. Let's not forget. Even at the national level, several chairmen in the past have all been removed through court. Would this be the same? As it stands, the last we heard, Aaron Chukwuemeka was at the secretariat and said, well, he is still the chairman. However, Robinson Ewo says he's in acting capacity. And as I also alluded to, the position of the national leadership of the party in a statement released by Debo. So then it puts us in this quagmire. What exactly is happening? The FCT minister downplayed that judgment and even pointed fingers at the courts and the judge in particular, bringing up some history and some character he perceived as questionable. But then again, many will say, how many judges or the situations in this country where we cannot, including politicians, everybody all have questionable characteristics, but they continue to lead us, and that is what it is. So let us find out whether you think this change would strengthen or weaken the PDP. That is what's fundamental. Hopefully, if my guest makes it here in time, we would look at the legal implications around all of this. We go to Rumokuta now, and Chima is on the line. Directly tell us what you think about the changes in the PDP. Does it weaken or strengthen the party?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Femi.
Yep, Chima, you're welcome. You heard the question. Let's get your response.
My brother Gift is more rooted in the PDP constitution and other aspect of PDP. Let me say the macrony and the micro aspect of it. He has spoken to at length, and I believe that should be able to stabilize the issue for now. And I believe we also heard from the FCT Minister yesterday, even when he was itemizing things, he also made you understand, even when there was an order from the court, there was a counter order from a high court from the federal. And if you look at it constitutionally, the state high court does not have power to wallow that into party issues, because it also has to do with federal. You understand? Now, but even from the question you asked, we know the antecedents of the people causing all these things, what they are perpetrating, that for them to see weakness in the PDP. So it is so lovely that you have caused it. PDP under the leadership of Chukwuemeka Aaron, is very intact. And the issue is that there is no how you're going to say you want to destroy something that has been stipulated, that has been mounted for how many years? Donkeys of years for just one small thing that you just came into politics. You are not a politician. That is not how it is. So
all right, Chima, thank you.
We are very, very strong.
I think you've answered the question. Now let's go to Bori. Akanto is on the line. Good morning, Akanto.
Good morning, my friend. And how are you doing?
Fantastic. Go on, please.
Andrew, I very start in a situation where the media is the mouthpiece and the media is an intermediary between the government, between the people and the government. The media is the intermediary between the society and the government. And again, irrespective of political interest, people are now coming to even threaten the media. It's just like one of the callers.
Just go to your point, Akanto. That's not necessary. There's a question before you respond.
The issue of PDP is in further strengthening PDP. There was a court that barred the PDP in Rivers State not to go ahead of his primary. You are aware. This radio station carry it. You also mentioned about APP that their own is now, they are now doing it well. You remember there's another court case that also, from a Mecca decay, that also banned them not to continue with their primary. Now, when this issue comes down to the legal issue, and court says you are no longer chairman of the PDP, that Ewo is the chairman, Ewo is the chairman of PDP. I don't know why it weakened the party. Let me tell you, majority of Rivers people, majority of the people of People's Democratic Party are behind Ewo. Why are we saying that the party will be weakened under Ewo?
Akanto, nobody said the party will be weakened under anybody. That's not what the question said. The question was asked. No statement was made. So you are the one who is making that statement now.
Let me say it's authority, my friend. Rivers people, majority of Rivers people, let me say majority. I will not say every party in Rivers people. Majority of people of Rivers State, majority of the politicians in Rivers are a PDP, you are aware. Because that has been a government. All
right, Akanto, your point has been made. Unfortunately, you've exhausted the time you have, and I think you found a way to respond to the question somehow. The question was simple. The tussle that we have now with regards to leadership in the PDP, when I spoke with Robinson Ewo, he had said, well, for peace, it's the reason why they had not gone to the secretariat. Following the provisions of the party constitution that puts him in a position to occupy that seat as acting chairman because of the vacuum that has been created following the court judgment that he is working with. That the police had said, well, for peace, let's try to maintain order. Same instruction was given by the governor, and that's what they are following, and that's the reason why everybody is staying their sword. Now, on the part of Aaron Chukwuemeka, who was at the secretariat, I said he is still the chairman. They were not served anything. They were not involved in any judgment or whatever. And he's still the chairman of the party, and all is well. Now, it's clearly has created some form of leadership loggerheads. And now it would also lead to a split in followers. There are many things that this would cause, and hence the question, does it strengthen or weaken the party? How do they go forward from here? I'm pretty sure Robinson Ewo has plans on what to do for the party. And you would also not be mistaken if you say that Aaron Chukwuemeka would also have his plans. And that is where we are. Obed in Ada George, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
You're welcome.
Andrew, no doubt, there's no way trying to speak that what is happening right now will not affect PDP. Definitely it's going to affect PDP. It's affecting them already. You understand? But Andrew, I am worried that people does not want to obey court orders. You understand? If a live bencher will not obey court order, what precedent are you setting out there You are supposed to be an apostle of the law. You understand? Disobey court order. There was an order before that Congress. They went to Abuja to obtain another order. You understand? So there's indeed flagrant disobedience of court orders. So what is happening will definitely obey, will definitely affect PDP. But the only way out is for the Chukwuemeka-led PDP executive should immediately go to court, maybe the higher court, to see how this judgment, you understand, maybe it may come for their favor or against. You understand? That is the only way forward. So I'm not seeing what somebody will be calling and saying you can't obey court order. No. This is a law. That is a ground law, the norm. So when court has given order, you must obey, irrespective of whether you like the order or not. You understand? You are bound to obey that judgment. Look, what they obtained from Abuja was a mere order ex parte. But the judgment we are talking about now is a judgment that has been delivered from a court of competent jurisdiction. So I am not seeing any reason why anybody will say you are not going to obey the order, the judgment. You understand? So definitely what is happening is affecting PDP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Obed. Lawson in Yenegua, over to you now. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Happy New Year.
All right, same to you.
Seriously, the question you asked, I can tell you it will affect the party. As it is now, PDP, this is just people who are just talking about the state chapter, where even at the national self, they have their issues. You just look at PDP and you see one man just controlling PDP. There is no way to not look at it. Look at the number of men that have been coming from Amadou Sheriff. Look at them. Who is removing them? Who is replacing them? Count from Amadou Sheriff. And whose hand do you see that is visible all over PDP, both at national and at the state level? And you think that kind of person who can single-handedly remove a chairman and replace with another at will, and you think at the state level he cannot do that? It will definitely affect it. It will definitely affect the PDP as a party at the state level. There is no two ways about it. Because if you look at it, I don't even think, well, there is a party. I cannot say there is no party, no PDP. But PDP right now is in the pocket of one man. You argue it or not, whether if you like argue, at the end of the day, it is in the pocket of one man. He controls it. Whatever he says is what happens in PDP. So this judgment is, of course, is just a judgment, court of first instance. There are other courts that they can also go to. So if you ask me, I think PDP should just call themselves together at the state level and then settle this matter within themselves. Because if they take it and say, let us go to court, at the end of the day, they will be in catters. But thank God, from some of the signs I saw yesterday on TV, I think that maybe settlement is near. I can tell you that. Some of us will see very far. So maybe at the end of the day, there will be some resolutions, and then there will be peace eventually in Rivers State.
All right, Lawson.
We cannot wait for that. Thank you.
Mufasa from NTA Road, good morning.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
You're welcome, Mufasa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, Andrew, quite an interesting topic. For me, I think the same instance that the state has actually, gone through, that is what PDP is actually going through now. Because as far as I'm concerned, PDP is on a mission of rescue, and to the best of my knowledge, as a layman, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not going to start speaking as if I know much or know too much about the law. For my pedestrian knowledge of the law, Iname Ewo and his group are the legitimate people who are saddled with the responsibility to revamp and build the party. Because if you should go by the court judgment, and the court has said that Chukwuemeka Aaron and his group are not legitimate escorts. Going by the court judgment, instead of resorting to self-help, what they should have done is to approach an appellate court and do what is civilized. And they say nature abhors any form of vacuum. Iname Ewo was the vice chairman, River South West or South East or thereabouts, and they did what is necessary. going by what is stipulated in the rules of the party. So for me, it's not about, coming to rant here and there. I think it's for the good of the party. Like what the last caller has said, if they continue like this, if a particular individual feels that he can single-handedly run and own the party and put the party in his pocket, it's going to end up the way the APC ended up in 2019, when they couldn't field a candidate at the level of the general election. So for me, I think the best thing is for those people who are so desperately in pursuit of power to allow peace to reign. As you people still remember, we still have some persons who are still parading themselves as local government chairmen, even though before the law and before the count of their tenure, they still to be council chairmen. This is their talking trade. They will never agree to the fact that time has passed them behind. And you cannot, use so much will and believe that you have the power of, control and might and strength and all of these things to want to subdue the people. It can never work. So they should allow Name and his group to see how they can revamp and build the party so that the party can have a space come 2027 general election. That's my position.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go over now to JJ and Rumigbo. Good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Yes, JJ, go on.
Andrew, how will I put it right now? I want to say that you emphasize too much on the power of the FCT Minister as if once he waved the magic wand.
There's not too much emphasis. It is what the party, it is what we have seen in history. So I'm not saying anything that has not been there. Exactly. So there's not too much emphasis, JJ, please.
Andrew, let me tell you, when you talk about history, the elders of the party at the time told him and Ayo Foyeshe not to bring in Ali Modu Sharif.
Did Ali Modu Sharif come in?
Ali Modu Sharif became a problem.
No, JJ, sorry, let's take it step by step. JJ, if you can hear me, hold on. You said I was emphasizing, so I want us to clarify. The party did not want Ali Modu Sharif. The FCT minister did. Did Ali Modu Sharif come?
Yes.
When Ali Modu Sharif was to be removed, who was his... JJ, I need you to respond. Hold on. JJ, we're having a conversation now. I'm trying to make you understand that nobody emphasized anything.
I am here.
It is the history of the party and what we have seen that we are only saying.
Yes.
When Ali Modu Sharif was to be removed, who was instrumental?
Instrumental how?
Instrumental in his removal.
Instrumental, I went to court and Ali Modu Sharif
who was
removed.
JJ? Now let's be honest. There's no need for painting wool. Let's be honest. The FCT minister was instrumental. The next chairman that came after him, who was instrumental in bringing him?
He brought them. Yes.
So what are we saying
and
that
also,
we are emphasizing?
Well, no, what I'm saying in essence is, if he is so omnipotent and omniscient, Ali Modu Sharif would have stayed there forever without him having problem with him. That's exactly the area I'm talking about. So that does not mean that a judge has given a judgment and you just rubbish the judge. You stayed for 8 years as a governor, and you knew that these things happened, that the guy ate money when the court were not working. You didn't take any action within the period. Suddenly, he became judge, and a judgment came from his court. You now begin to rubbish. Is that how we should be living, for goodness sake? Is that it goes my way or highway? Now, for the PDP, I see that there are two forces. A force that wants this party to survive and a force that wants this party to die. Just like in the Bible, the King Solomon story. Iname Ewo is the force that wants this party to survive at all costs. For Chukwuemeka and his group, they already have somewhere in the APC that they think they can go. If this one is destroyed, we'll get where to go. But for Iname Ewo, nowhere. Now,
all right, thank you, JJ. Let's go to Emeka Elele.
Oh, you took my time now.
We took our time. Emeka Elele, good morning. JJ, you already responded to the question, so yes, good morning, Emeka.
Good morning. The best thing that happened to PDP River State is Namewo emerging as the acting chairman. Because if you will not serve as a deterrent to them, for them to disobey court order. Because there was court order stopping them not to conduct primary, and they went ahead and conducted the primary. I know that it is the agenda for PDP to die in River State. I know that is their agenda. Abuja-based politicians, they don't want to kill any candidate in PDP. They are using court process and not the rest to destroy the party in the state for party not to feed candidates. I am calling on the governor of River State that he should stand firm, that he should watch his back. They are coming. It's arrangement from Abuja that want to destroy PDP River State. Thank you and God bless you.
Isaiah from Buguma, good morning.
Yes, Andrew, good morning. You see, Andrew, if you remember scripturally, it is written that disobedience is an act of rebellion. And you go further in the scripture, it says, the rebellious will always dwell in a dry ground. And that is where error is now dwelling. Because when you disobey a legally constituted authority, you will dwell in a dry place where nothing exists. Now, as I speak to you, where it is, nothing exists. Because the court has said that he is not recognized anymore. And who is actually recognized is the one that is currently in time with the existence of the party, which is Enamewo. As I speak to you, until a higher court upon that judgment, they are just beating around like a wounded lion. You see, you stay in anywhere you as a Niger Delta or Rivers or Nigeria, you have the right to speak, but you don't have the right. Andrew, nobody has the right, whether brother or no brother, to attack you in your state of duty. So people should not bring their madness to this conversation that we are having on daily basis. They should
Isaiah, you'd have to mind your language. Isaiah, you have to mind your language. Don't accommodate that at all. We don't. Thank you. That will be the much you can contribute. We don't accommodate those kind of language on radio. So please, it goes for every other person. I'm not saying that you are speaking to anybody, but the use of that word alone on its own is not acceptable. But we'd have to wrap things up. The commercial comes up, and then we have the news at 9. Hello, Port Harcourt with Jude will follow. Unfortunately, my guest couldn't make it to the studio. Would apologize for that. But we are watching. We're watching, and we'll continue to follow what's happening in the PDP and give you all of the updates as they come. Again, good morning.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info.